Two gin big tig biddies. What a classic. Tear comes to my eye every time I hear that one. What's up, everybody? What is going on? Good morning. Happy Friday. It is Friday. And I welcome you all to my first of two gameplay streams for today. Today's going to be an interesting and fun day because today we've got maximum variety for everyone here live on the streams. That's right. For those of you who are not aware, today we're doing completely different stuff than usual, than the norm. You know, a lot of people have actually been saying recently that the stuff I've been doing over the course of July was a little bit boring, was a little bit, slow-paced. And, I mean, admittedly, the new releases that came out in the month of July weren't that great. I mean, you started off with Stranger Things 3, which was a retro throwback game. Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is a game that I absolutely love, but is a game that is absolutely chill and slow-paced. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, a game that was completely underwhelming and was beaten in 2 sessions. And then, of course, Wolfenstein Youngblood, which we just finished and also was exactly the same as Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. So, with all that being said, hoping to spice up the month of August for all of you with some variety and stuff on the streams. Let's get to it. Today is Friday, August 2nd, 2019. How is everyone? It is the weekend for some. Some of you, actually, it is the weekend. For some of you, it is not yet. You're anticipating getting out of work and the like. Hopefully, I can spice things up and entertain you this weekend with some variety content. First, today, we're doing stuff completely differently. We're not doing any current ongoing playthroughs whatsoever. No chill streams, none of that. Instead, we're going to hit you with just new content, new stuff, all right? So, what are we doing? Today's first gameplay stream is the premiere of Madden. Madden? That's right. I know, that's kind of weird. As you guys know, I usually don't play sports games, yet somehow this year I ended up playing more sports games than I think I've played ever. When you really think about it, Madden, I played last year and I did the story mode. It was pretty laughably bad, and people enjoyed it just for that. And so, looking forward to more this year. I didn't buy the game. I should wholeheartedly give credit to Straight Cash Homie, who gifted me the game this year. Thank you very much for that, Straight Cash Homie. It allows me to at least explore the content, for a few sessions here. Now, just so you guys know, I am not promising whatsoever any kind of ongoing coverage of Madden. What I want to do is check out the story mode just like I did last year. And depending on how it is, maybe I'll keep playing it extended, or maybe it'll be 2-3 sessions and then it fizzles out and that's the end of it, okay? Now, make no bones about it, I have zero desire to get good at Madden nor play it competitively at all. Just like last year, this is more of me just kind of messing around with the game. I don't care about learning the game controls and being good at it or anything like that. It's just kind of a mess around game for variety's sake, okay? And I think being that I'm a variety streamer, it makes sense to do stuff like this. It's cool that, Straight Cash Homie, gifted it to me so that I could play it. Because, like I said, I wasn't going to drop $60 on a game that I knew I wasn't going to really get any extended, lengthy gameplay out of. But this should be fun. Something different to do. Okay? So we're starting this up today. I'm really curious as to what the game is this year. I heard the story mode is very different from last year. If you remember, last year's was hilarious. We had Rob Schneider as like a general manager / owner of one of the football teams. It was just quite interesting, to say the least. It was quite interesting. So I'm very interested to see what this is starting today, okay? So that's the first gameplay stream, all right? Now, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing something different as well on the late stream tonight. Tonight we're going to be doing Classic Street Fighter. And what I mean by that is I'm going to be going back to the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection that came out last year. And I'm going to attempt to play some Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. And, depending on how things go, some Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. We're going to see how it goes and how many matches I can find and the like. Now, it's funny because some people have said, oh, this is Phil's attempt to cheaply cash in on Evo. Now, what's absolutely hilarious is I didn't even know that Evo was this weekend. When I originally thought about doing Street Fighter tonight instead of MLB, because I've been doing MLB The Show, chill streams every Friday night. And last week I basically said I kind of want to give it a break. I've been playing it since March. It was fun, don't get me wrong. But I definitely felt that it was time to move on and do something else with that time, you know. So I said I want to do something different. And I was like, what could I do on a Friday night? Well, what the hell? Let's just do some Street Fighter. I haven't played a fighting game in a while. I'm craving classic Street Fighter. Let's do it. And then incidentally, some people this week were like, oh, did you know EVO's this weekend? I was like, no. So for those who don't know, EVO is the national fighting game tournament in the USA. It's pretty much the biggest one in the country. It's considered the big one. Kind of like you've got the Super Bowl for, you know, American football. You've got, you know, the World Series for the Major League Baseball. Well, EVO is kind of the national finals for fighting games. And so I was like, wow, I guess it just kind of goes, it coincides with it. I didn't intentionally mean to do that, but I guess it works, right? So tonight we're going to be doing that. It's a late stream. We're going to see how it goes. I honestly don't know how much competition I'm going to get. I don't know how many people I'm going to find, you know, online playing tonight. It could be hit or miss. If it ends up being good, maybe this is something that I'll do as a regular thing once a week. Maybe I'll do some throwback fighting games, because I was doing that for a while. If you guys remember last year, I was doing throwback fighting games like once a week at night, and then I basically stopped doing it when I couldn't find competition anymore. So, let's see. Let's see tonight how this goes. For those of you who love Street Fighter and miss me playing it, it should be a fun experience. For those of you who don't care about fighting games, no problem, because, you know, I don't play them that extensively anymore, and there's tons of other variety coming up, all right? So that's today's streams. We got American football with Madden 20 on the first stream, and we've got, you know, classic fighting games of Street Fighter on the late stream. So what a variety of stuff, right? Holy crap. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing more Madden as the main gameplay stream. Obviously, I want to get a little bit further into the game and, again, see how the story mode pans out, etc. So that'll be another main gameplay stream tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we return to Judgment. And yes, things have superbly picked up in Judgment. Huge story developments, plus final side content of the game is finally unlocking. For what I'm being told, probably about 6 to 8 hours left in the game, depending on how much side content I do. So it looks like more than likely within the next 1 to 2 weeks, I'm going to be completing Judgment, which has been a long ongoing playthrough since late June. But I have loved the game, so I'm very happy I gave it the time that I'm giving it to do the side content and the like. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the playthrough. So more of that tomorrow night, okay? Now, Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, Sunday is a humongously big day for me. A very important day for me. I hope you guys are excited. It is a special marathon event on Sunday. It is Super Mario 64's premiere, okay? Super Mario 64, first of all, obviously one of the most highly regarded, you know, platformers of all time. Action platforming. It was the very first game to come out on the Nintendo 64 back in the 90s. It was a game that got critical acclaim, a game that to this day is kind of the golden standard. It's the game that started all the 3D plane platforming games. And it's a game that, incidentally, I've never played on the internet at all. It's funny because a lot of people say, oh, it's kind of like it's the litmus test for if you can be a good content creator or streamer is when you play Mario 64, how do you do? A lot of people say this is the game that most people play when they get started as a content creator or a live streamer. I haven't done it at all. Never did it. After 11 freaking years, I never played the game, right? So this Sunday, it all begins around 10:15 a.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a marathon set stream, which what that means is I'm going to be playing extended streaming, starting at that usual time, but basically going all day long until like 7:30 p.m. Now, there will be breaks, don't get me wrong, but in general, when I do a marathon, I cover a lot of ground. I could guarantee you probably between 6 to 8 hours of gameplay during this marathon, all right? Now, also, this marathon is very important because I am using it as a method to raise tips in order to help me out financially this month. The last few months have been incredibly bad for me. Last month was one of the worst months ever where I was so behind on payments and everything that like I got charged a ridiculous amount of late fees, penalties, overdraft fees. It was not a good month for me. It was a really tough one, to be quite frank with all of you. And so the reason I'm doing this event is hopefully to raise funds to help me so I don't run into that issue again this month, okay? That being said, all right, I'm going to have a tips goal running during the Sunday's marathon special premiere stream of Mario 64. If we hit the tips goal, I'm going to do a very special, very positive reveal right here on the stream. I promise you that it's something that's going to be positive and fun for the stream, and it could positively affect my content moving forward. However, I'm not going to spoil what it is. I've given zero details about what this special surprise is going to be, and I'm doing this on purpose to build suspense. So you're not going to get anything out of me. Asking me questions about it isn't going to help, okay? So a lot of people are speculating what it could be. Not a single person has gotten it right yet. But it's fun, definitely, to tease you guys and see how you guys react on what it's going to be, okay? So hopefully Sunday ends up being a really positive stream. Not only because I'm playing a game you guys have always wanted to see me play, also because I'm doing a special marathon, but also because, you know, it could be a method to get me on my feet financially for the month. And we could have a really, really positive thing happen during the stream, okay? So let's see how it goes on Sunday. I'm feeling good. Hopefully, if you like my content and you're supportive and you want to see, you know, a special event and also be supportive, hopefully you'll come out on Sunday and help support, all right? So that's Sunday. Monday, I'm off from streaming. Monday is my day off from streaming, as usual. You know, this week again, it's Monday. I don't know what it's going to be the next week. I'll let you know once I get more information on Cat's schedule. Tuesday, I'm back. Now, Tuesday, what I'd like to do is some variety, so I doubt that I'm going to be doing Madden again, okay? So, probably, I'm trying to think here, more than likely on Tuesday, I'll probably do some Dragon Quest Builders 2, since at that point it'll have been a long time since I played it. I think that makes sense to do Dragon Quest Builders 2 on Tuesday. Alright, now, I wouldn't have done my weekly Minecraft stream because Sunday's my Mario 64 stream. So I'm thinking maybe Tuesday night I'll do my weekly Minecraft stream, since it would have, you know, gone by the wayside. Alright, so we'll do that. Then on Wednesday, more than likely, I'll either do more Madden or Mario 64. Probably more Madden, depending on how Madden goes. If Madden's good these next 2 days, I'll keep playing it. If not, if it ends up sucking, you guys are bored of it, then I don't have to play it anymore. Okay? So we'll see. But it could be Madden, it could be Mario. We could do some more Mario on Wednesday. Alright? It all depends on how things go. And then probably Wednesday night, I'll do more Judgment. And then on Thursday, I'll probably play whatever I haven't played yet the week, whether it's Mario or Madden. And then it'll probably be my weekly Black Ops 4 Blackout stream on Thursday night. Okay? So there you go. Everything's a little bit more staggered because we've got the marathon of Mario on Sunday. But I think it's going to be a fun week. There's going to be a good variety of stuff coming up. All right? It should be good stuff. Fair enough? I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited for this week, too. Good variety of stuff. Good stuff coming up. Now, one other thing, all right, that I want to discuss before we move on. So, a couple days ago, here on the pre-stream, we were talking about what I should do in the month of August. And the reason I say that is because the month of August is pretty slow. Right now, the only significant thing going on around the middle of August is that Nightwolf is releasing in Mortal Kombat 11 as the next DLC character. And he's coming out on the 13th, so that's right smack dab in the middle of the month, which is a good thing. It gives us some variety of content, and I'll probably be playing with Nightwolf 1 or 2 streams. Alright, should be pretty fun. But outside of that, there is nothing in the realm of new releases going on until the end of the month, when we've got games like Life is Strange 2 Episode 4, Control, Man of Medan, and Blair Witch. That's just a few of the games coming out at the end of the month. There's more than that. There's another game called Astral Chain and other stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff coming out at the end of the month. But we've got a long ways to go. Like, what should I do during the month of August to get us there? I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be playing Madden every single day, you know, and I definitely don't want to be doing only 2 games. If you're only doing 2 games, you get bored with the same games every day, right? So we were talking the other day here on pre-stream about it, and the stream viewers seem to have at least agree with 2 ideas. First of all, possibly a second run through Grand Theft Auto 4. This is a game that I played I think it was around, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago. This was before I did Direct Capture, was my original playthrough of Grand Theft Auto 4, so it must have been like 7 years ago, alright? It was a fun run, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed playing the game, but sadly that has now been absolutely destroyed by YouTube, because back then I put all the in-game music on. That was before YouTube claimed all the in-game fucking music and ruined the playthrough. So, you know, sadly, the playthrough is basically fucked up. Like, half the playthrough is claimed and you can't hear it, it's muted, or, oh, this video is not viewable in your country. You know, they ruined the playthrough, alright? So, much like I did with the other Grand Theft Auto games last year, I would like to go back and play GTA 4 another time, this time with direct capture and no music on, so that it's a full playthrough of the game that you guys can watch without having to worry about, oh no, everything gets fucked up and claimed, and now you can't watch the playthrough anymore, okay? So, that's an idea I had that I'm thinking of doing and strongly considering doing, you know, in August, on the Xbox One, because it's backwards compatible on the Xbox One, and obviously it would look a lot better playing it on Xbox One as well, okay? Now, in addition to that, another idea that people had was going back and playing Sly Cooper. Now, Sly Cooper, holy moly, another game franchise that I played back in the day, probably, I want to say probably about 7 years ago, alright? It was when I played the HD collection of the Sly Cooper trilogy that came out for the PlayStation 3. And I played those games over time. I remember playing one or two of them, like in the summer, and then I played another one later on or something like that. I really liked them. I did. I really liked the Sly Cooper games. In fact, I think I got a platinum trophy in one of them. I think that was one of my earliest platinums that I ever got, was doing all the collectibles in a Sly Cooper game. So that was a lot of fun. And, you know, that, again, that was before I did direct capture. And I think that would be another very fun game that I could play and balance in with all my other content during the summer. I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay doing these kind of throwback summer events. I think that they're fun, and that, you know, they basically give you a little bit of reminiscing about how, you know, what the kind of stuff I used to do in the past. At the same time, to see me play them in the modern era with the interactions and stuff that I do now is kind of neat. All right. So those are my ideas for things that I can do. You know, around, you know, middle August. What we'll do is this week we'll play it out. We'll see how stuff goes with Madden, etc. And we'll decide whether or not I'm going to do anything extended with Madden and the like. Also, I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through Mario 64. But let's play this week by ear, see how it goes. And then once those things start to kind of die out and dry up, then I'll start figuring out, okay, when should we start doing, say, Madden? Or, excuse me, when should we start doing GTA 4? When should we start doing Sly, okay? Now, I'm not 100% saying that I'm going to play these games. I'm just saying these are my ideas for the summer until we get to late August. Because once we get to late August with all those new releases, then September is jam-packed. You know, basically the hardcore gaming season, we get so busy that we're not going to have any issues with game releases and the like. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. Now, one other thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we hit the subscriber goal for July on the last day of July. It was pretty damned amazing, the amount of support that happened and the people that came out to support me, so thank you to all those who did. And because we hit that subscriber goal for July, all right, we're going to be doing the Rageathon event this month. What this means is that you guys need to head over right now to the kingofhate.com forums and start nominating games for the Rageathon. Already, there's probably about a dozen people who have. We need way more than that, all right? Go to thekingofhate.com right now. Go to the forum section. In the general section, there's a thread right there that says the Rageathon. Please post up games you want to see me play during this rage-inducing marathon. All right? What we're going to do is let that thread roll for about a week and a half, and then we're going to turn that into a poll, depending on the games that were most nominated. And that poll people will vote on will determine what games will be played during the Rage Marathon. All right? When is the Rage Marathon happening? Probably around the third week of the month, probably right before the new releases hit. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Right before new releases hit is the perfect opportunity to do that Rage Marathon. Okay, so get to it. The more nominations we get, the more suggestions we get, obviously the better the event's going to be. And I'm very curious to see what games you guys will nominate. Already I've seen a bunch in there that are kind of interesting. All right, so go, go, go. Alrighty then. I think I've covered everything now. I know that was a lot to talk about before we got to the next segment of the pre-stream, but I think I've covered just about everything. Yeah, nothing else is really coming to mind right now. So, alright, let's move on, guys, to the gratuitous plugs segment. first thing I'd like to say before we even get started, thanks to all of you who pledged to my Patreon in July. By now, your pledges have cleared. So thanks very much. And everyone, if you are interested in pledging again in the month of August, check it out at patreon.com/darksidefil. Your pledges earn you cool monthly perks. Thanks to everyone who does it. Appreciate it. Okay, I just wanted to get that out of the way because I just did a bunch of patron stuff this morning. In fact, I sent out messages to those of you who did pledge in July with information on how to get your perks. So if you are an ongoing pledgee to my Patreon, check your Patreon inboxes today. You should have gotten at least, one, if not more, private messages if you qualified for a perk. Okay? All right. So ladies and gentlemen, I have been a content creator for 11 years. 11 awesome years where I've been able to share my daily gameplay experiences with all of you. 2.5 years I did it as a hobby while I had another job. Then I got laid off from that job unexpectedly, and I turned my YouTube hobby into a career for about 6 years, where I was able to be a full-time YouTuber. Then, sadly, in 2017, out of no doing of my own, YouTube's bottom fell out. They lost most of their major advertisers, and it basically became completely unrealistic for someone like me to make a living on YouTube anymore. So I had to change things up. I was like, I'm not going to give up on this dream. I'm not going to give up on all this hard work I've done because YouTube screws things up. So I became a full-time live streamer over here on Twitch, and quite frankly, it's been one of the best and most positive decisions I've ever made. I love the live interactive streams that I do with all you guys on a daily basis, and I actually enjoy coming to work every day and just hanging out with all of you. It's a really cool, fun experience, and it's much better than anything else I've done. When I used to do those isolated videos for YouTube, it was a different experience. I love this way more than anything I used to do. But that being said, now I rely pretty much solely on your crowdfunding efforts live during the streams in order to keep things afloat, because sadly the YouTube ad revenue is abysmally bad. In fact, this is funny. I just happened yesterday to take a glance. I almost never do this anymore, but I took a look at YouTube. And my performance on YouTube on DSPGaming, which is my YouTube channel where I archive all of the streams here, for the month of July, it said, oh, your views were slightly down in July by about 6%. And I was like, man, well, that kind of sucks, but I understand why. I had big E3 hype in June, and there was a few releases in June that were kind of interesting. Some projects I was working on, playthroughs in June that were interesting. In July, it was a little bit slow, the games weren't super exciting or whatever. 6% down by 6% viewership kind of makes sense, all right, in July. Then I looked at profit. Ladies and gentlemen, you ready about this? You ready about this shit? Profit was down 35% in the month of July. I just want you to think about that. 6% viewership dip, that's almost nothing. 35% income dip. For what? For fucking what? Because YouTube sucks. Because YouTube basically can't get advertisers. They've lost their major advertisers, and for the month of July, they didn't have any ads. So even though you work your ass off, even though you put out the same good quality content every month, one month you make 1/3 less than you made the month before because those jackasses don't do a good fucking job at their jobs. All right? Hilarious, huh? So I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, here we go again. So, this is what this stuff that happens behind the scenes that you guys don't hear about. But this negatively affects me in a huge way. So now, somehow, this month, I need to make up for it on Twitch, right? On Twitch, I need to make up for the fact that YouTube is so far down that when I get paid by YouTube this month, I'm getting paid almost, way lower than what I usually get paid because those jackasses couldn't get any fucking ads for July. Like, that's my fucking fault. It's not, but I get punished for it. And this is why I can't make a living on YouTube. Can you imagine people who are still trying to make a living just on YouTube? Like, that's a nightmare, dude. That's just nightmare fuel. Like, every day you could wake up and find out you made no money because these assholes couldn't do their fucking jobs and bring in advertisers. That's terrible. So, I'm very, very happy that I am here as a live streamer and that this is what I do. All right? I love it. This is so much better than relying on YouTube. That being said, I rely on your contributions during streams because of things like this happening behind the scenes with YouTube. All right? So, if you love these daily live streams and if you love the fact that I still tough it out and upload the videos to YouTube every day despite the fact that I go through all this shit, please consider contributing in one of the following ways. All right? I appreciate all contributions. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this. First of all, I already mentioned Patreon. I'm not going to mention it again, but check it out, patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. Short and sweet, okay? Check out my Teespring. My Teespring store, I sell all kinds of merchandise, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, mugs, great quality stuff. I can attest to the quality because I own a ton of it myself. And, you know, anything you buy, you get a cool collectible, and it helps me out, so please give it a look. Fair enough? Now, if you're here live on the stream, and you would like fun interactions with me, all right? If you either cheer, sub, or tip during the stream, that's cheering with bits, subscribing to the channel, or tipping me via my PayPal, you will get a shout-out, a live shout-out during the stream, okay? Understand, please, a few things. Number one, even though your contributions during streams keep things going and are incredibly helpful, they're not mandatory. I absolutely enjoy the fact that people come out and hang out with me on a daily basis, regardless of the fact that, if you know, what kind of support I receive. I love the daily interactions with all of you. That's why I love my job, and I love it way more than I used to when I was just a YouTuber. It's amazing you guys even care about me, to be quite frank. So thank you for that. And understand that it's not mandatory that you contribute. If you can't, you can't. That's fine. If you can, thank you. If you can't, that's perfectly fine. Just chill with me. Fair enough? Alrighty then. Now, if you do happen to contribute, I will give you a shout out. However, understand that I need to abide by Twitch's terms of service, so there's certain things I can't say or do on stream. In addition, I try to maintain a certain kind of chill vibe around here, meaning I want people to come in and feel like they can just relax and hang out and have a good laugh, and not have to be bombarded by drama and negativity. So that means when people come in here and they try to insult myself or others, or they're basically trying to be jerks and bring up detractors who hate me and bring up what this guy said about this guy and all kinds of stuff that would derail the stream, you know, politics and religion and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to bring up any of that stuff on my stream. I'm not. It's subjective what I say and do on my own stream, and understand that I have no obligation whatsoever to say or do anything just because someone contributes. I don't have to give them a shout out if I feel that it's inappropriate or it's going to derail the stream. All right. So thank you very much for your contributions. I will go out of my way to give you recognition for them, but understand that I do have ultimate control over my stream. Fair enough? Now, as you can see, excuse me, at the top of your screen, there's a stream stats leaderboard. This is a leaderboard that I will update via the top cheerer and top tipper of the day to give extra recognition. In addition to that, there's another leaderboard that's for cheering exclusively. That is integrated into the top of the stream chat if you guys don't see it. And that tracks the top 10 cheerers of the week. So there's many, many ways for you to receive recognition here during my streams. Okay? All right. Now, before we get to the shout-out segment of the stream, where basically I give credit to those who've contributed, all right, what I want to say up front is thank you so much for your support recently. However, the best way that you can help me right now, and quite frankly for the next couple of weeks, is by tipping me. All right? You might say, why? Why is tipping help more than anything else? Well, it's because tipping, I get those funds right away, and I can put them towards bills. Right now, all of my bills are coming due. They all come due within the first 1 or 2 weeks of the month. And it always becomes an incredibly bad time for me because most of my money gets either taken away or sometimes overdrawn. This is what's been happening the past couple of months. I get overdrawn on my bank account. Things don't get paid. I get late fees. And then I got to play catch up for the rest of the month. All right. If you tip me, those funds you tip me go straight to bills. Any funds you give me today, I'm putting straight into the bank account to clear bills. So please consider tipping me today. It helps more than anything else. All right. How do you tip? There's 2 ways to tip. Below the stream, there's a tips jar button you can click on. That'll take you straight to my PayPal tips page. Or you can type exclamation point tip into the stream chat. That'll bring up a link that'll take you to said page. And once you're on that page, there's a couple things you could do. Number one, if you want to be anonymous, you can be. You don't have to actually put your real name in there. You can make up a name, or you could just say anonymous if you're a little bit afraid of maybe someone finding out that you supported a streamer on Twitch and a troll harassing you. You could do that to avoid that. Number two, you don't need a PayPal account to tip me. That's a misconception. You can actually just use a debit or credit card and pay for it much like anything else on the internet. There's a button to do so right there on the PayPal tips page. It says, don't have a PayPal account, click here to use your debit or credit card. All right? So in advance, thank all of you for your support. Please, if you can't tip me today, I really need the help right now. And thank you for anything that you do happen to support with. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and let's do shout-outs for those who've actually contributed during the stream, okay? So we start off with some overnight support from Golden Colts, who did a couple cheers overnight. Thank you very much, Golden Colts, for the overnight cheers. As always, I appreciate those who keep me in mind when I'm not even streaming. It's pretty damned awesome that some people do that. So thank you for that, Golden Colts. All right. First supporter of the stream was Lil Dude. Oh, it just scrolled off the screen. Hold on a second. Lil Dude 67, who resubscribed for 2 months. Thank you very much, Lil Dude 67, for the subscription and for the ongoing support. Is much appreciated. Okay. Shout out to that Anonymous, who subscribed for a whopping 25 months. And he says the following. I just spent 3,190 euros of my mom's money on FIFA loot boxes, so I don't know how much longer my streak will last. I hate to say this, but sadly, this is what happens with EA games, is that people fall into this almost gambling mentality of buying their stupid Ultimate Team boxes or whatever. You know, in this game, in Madden 20, it's Madden Ultimate Team boxes to get the best level characters for your fucking team. But every EA game has this practice. Sit there and spend endless amounts of money on loot boxes to try to get a character that will add to your team or add to the gameplay. It's garbage. It's basically the mobile games formula. Like in a mobile game, the base game is free, okay? But if you actually want to do well in the game, you have to drop endless amounts of money into it to try to pull the best characters or the best cards, to try to buy the items you need to upgrade your characters or your team or your base or whatever it is. That's how these games work. It's free to download, but insane amounts of money to actually do well at. And a lot of people fall into this trap of gambling, where it's exactly what it is. It's gambling. It's nothing else. You can't argue it's anything else but gambling. And the only reason that it's not regulated as such in the United States is because there's no money payout. In gambling, you spend money to earn money, all right? Because there's no money payout, they argue it's not gambling. It is gambling. It's just a different kind of reward, you know, a digital currency or an in-game reward that has some kind of innate value to the gamer, and or you might even argue it has monetary value, although most of these games claim that you can't resell their accounts. I'm sure people find ways to do so. So in reality, it's a horrible practice, and I sadly hate to say that a lot of people fall into this with these EA games. They fall into this gambling mentality, and I'm sure it hurts a lot of people. So I would never do shit like that in a fucking game like this from EA. Now, I'll give you an example. A few years ago, I played Overwatch, and that game was pretty good. I got a lot of content out of it for the $60 that I played, and then every once in a while, I would drop a few extra bucks into it to see if I could pull some stuff from a pack or whatever, when they had new skins and the like. And I feel that's an acceptable model. And the reason I say that that's acceptable is because it's all optional shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, oh my god, I really need this player to make my gameplay experience better. You know, having a skin on your character doesn't change the gameplay experience, right? So, at least in that regard, it's optional stuff. And yeah, you could still get hooked on the addictive nature of dropping money to try to get the stuff you want. But at the same time, it's not as bad as, oh, to even play the fucking game, you know, let me drop $3,000 and see if I can get the character I need. It's fucked up, man. So anyway, I know that Anonymous is probably joking about how much money he spent, but thank you for the resub. I appreciate that. JB tipped me $3 and says the following. He says, some insight. The reason why people are saying that your surprise on Sunday is going to be a baby announcement is because of how you dealt with the wedding. You lied about that, regardless of how you perceive it. You're absolutely right. I did lie about the wedding because, well, all right, let me put it this way. I didn't lie about the wedding. I just didn't tell you guys anything about the wedding. You know, I purposely hid every single detail about it because I knew it was in our best interest to protect myself and my family. I knew that if I had talked about it publicly, that there was a chance that people would try to fuck with us and or hurt my family, and I wasn't going to deal with that shit, you know? I had to keep it a secret. So you guys are absolutely right. Right, exactly. Lie by omission. I guess that's what you could say. Rumpelstiltskin, it's a lie by omission. I guess that's the proper term for it. The thing is, people who've been around, you know, and know the shit that I've been through over the years completely understand why I had to do that with the sickos and shit that have tried to fuck with me over the years, right? So, hey, I understand that some people are like, well, we can't trust anything Phil says or does anymore. He says there's no baby, there's a baby. Well, I guess you're just going to have to see on Sunday if we hit the tips goal. You're just going to have to see what this announcement is. I mean, what else can I say? It just builds the suspense even more. It could be that I'm a space alien. It could be, who knows? It could be that I become a citizen of Tibet, and I'm going to become a monk, and I'm going to live on top of a mountain from now on. It could be, we adopted a giraffe that lives in our backyard. I mean, I'm going to feed the giraffe on stream every day. A nice leafy greens right through the window, and I'll live stream that. Who knows what it's going to be? You guys have no idea. You guys have absolutely no idea. And that's the cool thing. That's what I like about this. It's pretty cool that you guys literally have no clue. It's exciting to build suspense. And think about this, how different this is from back in the day when I just shared absolutely everything with everyone at all times, and there was no suspense at all. And, this is cool that I can do stuff like this now. You know what I mean? So there you go. That's right. Maybe the announcement is I'm moving to Mixer. It could be I'm moving to Mixer. You don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea what it could be. So there you go. We'll find out on Sunday. But JB, fair enough. I actually agree with your point. And thank you for the tip. There you go. Fair enough. Let's move on. Up next, we got Nobody Legit, who has resubscribed to the channel for 2 months and says, I just blew out my car's transmission. Life is great. That sucks. Transmission is pretty much the most expensive thing on a goddamn car besides totaling it. I know because my transmission had issues on my old Grand Am that I had when I actually started off on YouTube. I drove a Pontiac Grand Am, and that thing had so many issues over the years. I basically rebuilt the car 3 fucking times with the amount of money I put into it. And I feel for you because that is terrible. And in a lot of cases, if you got a used car, it actually just makes more sense to buy another fucking car than to fix the transmission. So, I guess we'll see. Hopefully things go well for you and you don't get, it's not a ridiculous amount of money, but I know how it goes. So, sorry to hear that. Nobody legit. Okay. A mature, intelligent frog has done a 50-bit cheer and has an insightful cheer. You ready? He says, hey, Phil, I'm an aspiring detractor. I already have the basics down. Step 1, a bucket of shit to pour over your head. Step 2, slander to ruin your day. Step 3, lots of nasty comments about your wife. Let's see. He says, do you have any additional tips to completely ruin my life? Oh, dude, I could give you like 4 million of them. But the thing is, I'm not going to. Because that's the thing. Like, the reason that people do shit to fuck with me is because they hope they can get a rise out of me. Right? They want to hear me rage about it. They want to feel like something they've done to me has a concrete impact on me and my day. They want to hear it on a stream. They want to see it in a tweet. And if I don't give them the time of day, they don't get that satisfaction, right? And that's why I don't tell you guys about, probably no exaggeration, 95% of the shit that people do to fuck with me, I don't talk about anymore. Because there's no point, because I don't want to give these people the attention that they're craving. All right? So there's much, much more that they do, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because that's exactly what they want. Okay? All right, moving on. Eternal Napalm tipped me $5. That is the top tip of the day. Thank you, Eternal Napalm. He says the following. There was a new PlayStation exclusive open world RPG announced yesterday being developed by a Chinese development company called Genshin Impact. It is a very strong clone of Breath of the Wild. It's crazy how similar they are. FYI, all my friends on this channel. Oh, FYI to all my friends on this channel. Interesting. And not to say that Breath of the Wild didn't copy from other modern RPG franchises. It absolutely did. But that's one of the things that I actually complimented it for. I said, holy shit, Nintendo learned that they need to modernize their games. No one wants to walk across an entire fucking map and waste 2 hours in Zelda anymore. We actually want fast travel, right? No one wants boring, clunky controls in Zelda anymore. We want fun, action-based combat in our RPGs. So they modernized the game, and it ended up being one of the best Zeldas of all time, right? And that's a good thing. Now, if a company's copying them, curious to see what this turns out to be. Genshin Impact. Might be a great game. Thank you for the heads up. Thank you for the tip. You're the top tipper of the day. Let's get you up on the leaderboard here. There we go. Oops. That is a $5 tip. Excellent. Thank you very much, sir. Up to $8 in tips so far today. Reminder, best way to support me is to tip me today, guys. Please consider it. Thank you to those who have already. All right, moving on. Rumpelstiltskins did a 50-bit cheer. Hold on a second, actually. That might not be the next cheerer. It's not. Okay. Actually, yes, it is. Rumpelstiltskins cheered and said, Sunday. Then he cheered again, and he said, can you tell the newcomers in chat what the best way to contribute is through actual tips? At night, all I give you is tips. It's like we went out for drinks. Well, thank you very much, Rumpelstiltskins. Yes, as I've mentioned many times on this stream, tipping me is the best way to help, so please consider it. Continuing on. Slie did a 320-bit cheer. He says, Phil, what are your thoughts on banquet frozen meals? They are disgusting. They are full of sodium. They are full of fat and preservatives. They're not good for you. They are absolutely gross. But, you know, not to say that I haven't eaten them, because I have. I'm as guilty as anyone else who's eaten them. But they're really terrible for you, and you shouldn't have them. If you can all avoid them, you should, because they're bad. So there you go. Thank you, Slie, for that cheer. You're the top cheer of the day. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. There we go. Continuing on. Orion Rogue has subscribed to the channel for 17 straight months. Thank you for the support. He says, please keep up the YouTube uploads. Almost only way that I get to see your stuff. Really enjoyed the Youngblood action. Even though the story was weak, keep up the good work. I agree with you. I thought the actual gunplay of Wolfenstein Youngblood was good. It was a fun, like, visceral first-person shooter. And in that regard, it did actually feel like a Wolfenstein game. The graphics, the gore, the gunplay felt like Wolfenstein. The story and the amazing amount of repetitive side content instead of meaningful content, not so much. And the fact the game was so short and only basically had 4 major story missions was pretty overwhelmingly bad. But I thank you for, number one, the ongoing support. Thank you for reminding me that, you know, uploading those videos to YouTube is appreciated. It's, you know, it's cool to know that even though I have to put up with so much nonsense on YouTube, in particular with the Wolfenstein Youngblood, one of the videos was identified by YouTube's robots as a scam. That's how stupid they are. They think that a gameplay video on a gameplay channel that I've been uploading gameplay to for the last 10 years is a scam. They're fucking stupid as shit. But anyway, thank you for that and letting me know that it's worthwhile to keep toughing it out with those assholes. Rumpelstiltskins cheered again. He says, we have plenty of new fresh faces questioning the need of PayPal to tip. Please explain it to them. You don't need it. You can just use a debit or credit card, and I already explained the button that you can use right there on the PayPal tips page to do so. All right. Rumpelstiltskins cheered again. He says, it seems that you've leaked the surprise. People are saying you got an aquarium full of frogs. What the heck, dude? It's out. It's the jig is up. The jig is up. From now on, in the background of my streams, I'm going to have an aquarium full of frogs. It's true. We're gonna feed them all. We're gonna feed them flies. We're gonna feed them all kinds. They're gonna be swimming, flipping and flopping. They're gonna be doing backflips. They're gonna have their long, stretchy tongues lashing out and eating stuff. It's gonna be great. We're gonna call this the frog stream from now on. Just get used to it, guys. Maybe this is the announcement. It could be. You got to tune in on Sunday, and hopefully we hit the tips goal, and you guys will find out, right? We'll see what happens on Sunday. Alrighty then. BWT did a 50-bit cheers. His Ultimate Team is what ruined the Madden franchise because it's all they care about now, like most of EA's games. Yeah, you're right. What they did, they turned it into a microtransaction game where all you care about is building this Ultimate Team and playing with the Ultimate Team. And again, EA effectively turned their games into mobile games. It's the mobile game formula, except you still have to pay $60 to play the game. Because again, a mobile game formula is you get the game for free, you get hooked on the game, then you want to pay money to advance, and you get hooked on the gambling aspect of the game. In these games, you're paying $60 up front, and then you get hooked on the gambling aspect. It doesn't even make any sense to me. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you. The whole gambling and the Ultimate Team stuff is terrible, and it ruined the franchise. You're absolutely right. All right, continuing on. Eternal Napalm did a 400-bit cheer. So, in reality, that actually makes That actually makes Eternal Napalm the top cheerer again. Let's get him up there on the leaderboard again. He's unseated Slie. Thank you. And he says, imagine what it must be like to be such low life that you take the time out of your schedule to create fake emails and fake Twitch accounts just to give money to someone that you despise and then not even get your message read, laughing out loud. Hey, I mean, I know, see, you and I see it from that perspective because we're like normal people who like, we focus on positive stuff. You know what I mean? These people, apparently to them, this is a use of their time that's worthy. I'm going to sit here and make a million clone accounts just to try to troll someone on Twitch and actually send this person funds of some sort and contributions, despite the fact I don't like this person, right? It doesn't make any sense, of course. There's no logical sense to it. These people aren't logically intelligent people, or else they wouldn't be doing that shit. But, it's definitely a weird hobby. Let's put it that way. Continuing on, Timbo Slice Cheers says, I understand people don't agree with loot boxes or Madden Ultimate Team, but here we go. So let's see a justification from someone who is a Madden fan. I'm curious to see what he has to say. I'm just going to give him a fair shake. He says, for a lot of people, it's a hobby. They enjoy it. You don't need to spend money to have a good team, and having good players doesn't make you win the games. It's no different than people sitting in a casino all day. I agree with you. I totally agree with you, Timbo. I just feel that, like, it's sad because I think that what we have, in gaming in particular, we have an entire industry, a sub-industry under the normal gaming industry based on gambling in games, and people just don't realize it. They don't, okay? So there you go. I really do feel that people don't take it seriously, and then next thing you know, they've dumped a ton of money into these games, and that's not good. What that is, it's a deceptive industry that it advertises itself as one thing and it actually is just gambling. And there's people who fall into that slope. Now, just like anything, if there's people who have self-control and people who do it in moderation, like you're saying, Timbo, if you're a reasonable person and you don't fall into the trap of spend, sure, it's a fun hobby. You can collect the cards. You can do well in the game, etc. And it's fun. But the sad part is that there are people who fall into it who just, you know, oh, man, I got to drop $1 million into this fucking game, and I still didn't get the character I wanted or whatever. And that's what happens, you know? Like I said, I didn't necessarily ever see this happen with console games, but I used to see this with mobile games. Remember, I used to play 4 different mobile games. I played WWE Supercard, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and Marvel Future Fight. And all 4 of those games had all of these microtransaction gambles, where you didn't know what you were getting when you bought something. You didn't know if you got the character or the upgrade item you were looking for, and it was gambling. And it was terrible because I knew people in those games who were dropping so much money into these games for, you know, for what? Anyway, let's continue on. Bagel Goose cheered. He says the BattleBot Tombstone was defeated this week. Any bets on who will go to win BattleBots? BattleBots? That shit's still a thing. Didn't they used to have that in like the mid-2000s? I'm serious. I swear I saw this on like Spike TV. It was like BattleBots, and people would make these battle robots to fight and shit. I didn't even know that still existed. I have no idea who's going to take the championship. I didn't even know it was still around. So, Slie tipped me $1 and says, enjoyed the 60 cents, Phil. That's exactly right. Sadly, when you tip me $1, I basically only get about 60 cents of it. Because, you know, PayPal has a transaction fee every tip, and it's about 30 cents. So if you send me $1, I get about 60 cents. To oppose to that, if you send me like $5, I get like $4.60. Because they still only take the 30-cent transaction fee. So, there you go. Timbo Slice cheered again. He says, Call of Duty Modern Warfare will be playable like Fortnite. You can play people on any system. Do you think this is a good thing or it will make the game worse? Plus, now it has 20 versus 20 mode, which doesn't feel like Call of Duty. Man. Well, first of all, crossplay is always good. But only if the connections are good. And now you're talking not only a variable of someone's internet connection, now you're talking the variable of somehow making different versions of a game all cross-compatible on the same server. I don't know if this is going to add to latency issues, you know. I have no idea. I certainly don't know enough about it to really give any kind of a valid opinion on that. I mean, I would say the more players, the better. I guess that's. I mean, my first reaction would be the more players, the better. I don't necessarily know if that's how it's going to turn out, but okay. 20 versus 20 mode in Call of Duty could be very interesting because Call of Duty is a more very fast-paced game. It's really not a game that's massively co-op or team-based. A lot of it's like run and gun gung-ho kind of gameplay. So to have a 20 versus 20 mode, you would think it would be more team-based co-op, but I don't know how that's going to work. A lot of people have been saying that it looks like Battlefield rather than Call of Duty. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I think there's supposed to be a beta next month. I would like to get into it, but I have no idea how. But these are interesting things we're learning. They're definitely going somewhere very different with Call of Duty this year. They're trying something new. They're not following the same formula. They're really going outside the box. Will it pay off for them or not? I guess we're going to find out, right? Okay. Slie just did a 500-bit cheer. He says, well, that sucks. I just ate a mega meal last night. Mega meal? I guess he's talking because someone earlier had referenced banquet meals. I guess there's something called a mega meal. I never heard of that. What's a banquet mega meal? Is it like Hungry Man meals where they claim it's like the bigger one, the heavier protein portion Hungry Man meals? Like the original Hungry Man wasn't bad enough for you. Now they double up on sodium and shit. So thank you, Slie, for the 500-bit cheer. That is the top cheer of the day. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for that. Registered for PayPal. Tipped me $1. I said, dude, you said I didn't need to register, but I checked my email and it registered me for PayPal. I've already been hacked and had my accounts drained. It's unfortunate. Of course, it's bullshit. He's just basically doing a parody of, like I said, people who are, I got to make an account to do PayPal. No, you don't. And even if you did, it's not like your entire life's going to be ruined because you made a PayPal account anyway, but you don't have to. So thank you for the $1 tip. Code Castile tipped me $1. He says, would you rather drive a Ford Raptor or a Mustang? Someone's already asked me this question. I don't know what a Ford Raptor is. What is a Ford Raptor? I've never even heard of it. Is it a car, a truck? You know, what level of vehicle is it? I've never driven a Mustang. I know sometimes it's a nice looking car and sometimes it's hideous. I've seen different models of Mustang that some looked really nice and some just looked like shit. The only thing is a Mustang has a giant engine. Isn't it like a V8 engine or whatever? I think that like it would use a lot of gas, maybe. I don't know anything about the Raptor. But in reality, I don't know anything about cars that much, so I don't really care. I probably wouldn't care if I drove either. I wouldn't have a preference. There's my honest answer, okay? So that's another $1 tip. Thank you for the $1 tip. We're up to $11 in tips. Infinite55 gifted a sub to Derek Loves Lemur. Congrats, Derek. I'm receiving a gifted subscription, and thank you, Infinite, for the support. That's much appreciated. Rumpelstiltskin's cheered. He says, by the way, Phil, notice it's one L. Rumpelstiltskins. Huh? Oh, is he saying? I don't know. Anyway, are you thinking about playing Black Desert online for PS4 Pro? Seems like it's going to run smooth. No. Isn't it an MMO? I think Black Desert is an MMO that's been out a long-ass time for PC. And if that's the case, I have zero interest. Just being honest with you. If it is an MMO, I don't care. Okay? Front Bottom Filth cheered and said, do you ever feel disempowered by relying on the generosity of others rather than pulling yourself up by the bootstraps and being self-reliant? Considering the fact that for the last, let's see, 8 years, I've been 100% reliant on others? No. When I was a YouTuber, I was reliant on ad revenue. Ad revenue was reliant on video views. Okay? So I was reliant on people to come out and watch my content, all right, in order to keep things going. Then I had to open a Patreon, right? Then I opened a merchandise shop, Teespring. And now I'm reliant on income from the streams. And the bottom line is it's not different for anything else. Are you saying, let me ask you this, Front Bottom Phil, because I'm very curious about this, all right? Are you telling me that when you go to a restaurant, all right, you go to a restaurant and you have a good meal and you have a waiter that did an exceptional job at serving you. They brought you your food in a timely manner. They're very complimentary. Maybe they brought you some extra things you asked for, extra napkins, whatever you wanted. They did a really good job. And at the end of your meal, you say, okay, I'd like to tip this waiter, and you leave them a nice tip. All right? What's the difference between that or you go to someone's stream, they do a really good job of entertaining you, they put out a fun stream, good content, good interactions, maybe you even got to talk to them during the stream, you had a few good laughs, a few hours of entertainment. At the end of the stream, you say, man, that was a good one. I'm going to send this guy a tip because he did a good job. It's the same exact thing. In fact, legally, it's the same exact thing. I can tell you that because I pay taxes on my tips just like a waiter pays taxes on their tips. It's exactly the same thing legally. There's no difference. So what you're telling me is that basically someone who works in the food services industry and relies on tips, or someone who's a bartender relies on tips, right? Those people aren't legit. They don't deserve what they get. They should be ashamed of themselves because they rely on tips, right? I mean, that's ridiculous, right? Here's a different situation. A patron of the arts, right? So someone is an artist and they make a song or they make a painting that you guys really like, and so I want to be a patron of this person, right? I want to support them, and so you send them some funds or you buy their works, right? What's the difference? There's no difference. But the thing is, because this job is just me sitting here streaming on a couch, or a love seat, playing video games, people want to act like it's not valid and that I should be ashamed of myself that I raise funds via streaming. It's ridiculous. It's preposterous. It's stupid. There's no logic behind that reasoning. It's basically jealousy. It's, well, I'm doing it, you're not. So because I'm able to make a living doing it, I should, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's not an honest living. Actually, it is. And if you don't think it is, you're a complete fucking moron. Because you're just stupid and ignorant. And you have no right to criticize anyone who does it. And tough shit that you can't do it, because that's probably the reason that you make fun of it regardless, because you can't do it. You're not good enough to fucking try to make a living doing it. I've been around the block. The reason I'm able to do this for a living is because I worked my fucking ass off. I started back in the day when no one was doing the kind of stuff that I do. Now a ridiculous amount of people do the kind of stuff that I do because I was one of the pioneers who made it popular on YouTube. And I stayed the course. I stuck it out year after year. There were a million reasons why things got screwed up and I could have quit, but I stayed with it. And, I'm still here to this very day. I'm happy that I toughed it out. And I have a legacy behind me of positivity and awesome content that you can watch at any moment on the internet. Despite the fact that there's so many assholes over the years who've tried to bring me down, I'm still here. And quite frankly, I've outlived a ton of people who've tried to say that I was a shitty guy or I wasn't doing anything valid. You know what I mean? So, being quite frank with all of you, I don't feel any kind of negative feeling about relying on the generosity of others, because there's a ridiculous amount of people who do it, the various methods of employment, and it's basically being an entrepreneur, and it's a lot of work, but at the same time, it's honest work, it's tough, it's very, very risky, but at the same time, it's fun as hell to do what I do for a living, and you know what I mean? I wouldn't give it up for the world. I love it. Okay? So, no, I don't feel bad at all, and the bottom line is no one should. No one should even accept invalid criticism about it, because it's a bunch of fucking horseshit from jealous assholes. There you go. Alrighty then. Infinite gifted a sub to Dacky Smurf. Thank you very much, Infinite, for another gifted sub, and congrats to Dacky Smurf. Okay? Rumpelstiltskin's cheered. He says, salute for your 11 years, good sire. We love that legacy. You're real fans. Thank you very much, Rumpelstiltskins. Okay. So, I think we finally reached the end of the contributions. What we can do now is some shout-outs to the top cheers of the week. And then we're going to get started with MADDEN. All right, so I want to say shout-out to the top cheering contributors of the week. Top 10. In 10th place, we got Philip's Smelly Chair. 9th place, Cody Carls. 8th place, one of the Baby Man Gamings. I don't know which one. 7th place, Slie. 6th place, Infinite 55. 5th place, Magnus Flamebeard. 4th place, Vote Democrat. 3rd place, Nihilistic Goldfish. 2nd place, Chite. And 1st place, Baby Man Gaming. One of the other ones. I say that because there's like 5 of them now. All right. Hold on a second. Infinite just gifted a sub to Fluttershy1970. Congrats to Fluttershy, and again, thank you to Infinite for the support. I appreciate that. In fact, what I should probably do is check sub count in just a moment, because I'm sure it probably went up. Rumpelstiltskin just did a 4-bit cheer and said, let me join that leaderboard already. Let me see if this actually got him up on the leaderboard. Let's see. Yes, that put Rumpelstiltskins into 7th place on the leaderboard. All right, let's take a look at subcap. Wow, we are at 549 subs. Thank you guys for your support. Much appreciated. A far cry from, you know, we were like 430 the other day. So, pretty awesome. Oh, I'm going to stretch here. Good stretch. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for a very supportive pre-stream. One final reminder. The best way to help me right now is to tip me. Tipping me, I put those funds straight towards the bills, and I do need the help, so please consider tipping me if at all you can today. I appreciate all other contributions, but tipping is the best way to help. Just got to keep saying that because I really seriously need the help right now, okay? Okay, let us end the pre-stream, and let us get ready for Madden fun, okay? Wah! Evan55 now gifted a sub to Code Castile. Congratulations. Congrats. All right, guys. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's get started. Here we go.